Greetings, I'm Brian Hines. I'm a professional economist, financial advisor, and broker. Graduate from the University of Connecticut. Pleasure to meet you. Most people don't understand what Keynes is thinking, so I want to basically go down to the nitty-gritty of the first thing you need to know to understand exactly why Keynes and his followers think the way they do. It all comes down to two different types of reasoning: inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning. You'll see people like Milton Friedman, Hayek, von Mises. All these economists decided to use deductive reasoning traditionally because it was based on what they considered proofs, evidence around them to come down to a single conclusion. However, Keynes decided to go to a different approach, and his followers today have distorted exactly the foundation of reasoning. It simply comes down to exactly what this says. Deductive reasoning is based on what you consider proofs. You take evidence around you, and you form different premises. If your premises are valid, if they actually lead into one another, therefore the conclusion you will lead to, there should only be one, and that conclusion must be true as long as your premises are valid. Are correct. On the contrary, people decided to insert this new theory of subjectivity. Keynes kind of wanted to be able to push the envelope, try doing the new things. So he introduced what basically was dismissed hundreds of years ago, but back into inductive reasoning. And inductive reasoning, even in its most perfect form, is only evidence. It is a good high chance of probability of being true. However, it cannot be proven because of the outside variables. Basically, inductive reasoning works backwards. You form your conclusion and you look for evidence to back it up. So therefore, when you see any reports on and when you see any academic journals based on the relationship between the population and GDP growth, inductive reasoning, because they're using empirical evidence, they already formed a conclusion, and they're working backwards to try to see how strong of an inductive argument that they are making. This inserts the problem of subjectivity into all the arguments, because now people in general, the general populace, cannot even distinguish between proof, strong deductive arguments, and weak inductive arguments. So, if you have a strong inductive argument and a weak inductive argument, there could be very different outcomes. But today, the line of the Keynesians have blurred this, and that is the most important consequence of economic theory today.